coming into your set position when you're ready. So just your feet nice and narrow, heels beneath your hips, and just open the knees a little from your hips and then lengthen up through your spine. Little roll back with both of your shoulders and soften the ribs down. So we're going to focus on the hips and the shoulders today. So what I want you to do while you're stood here is just let your knees relax in so they drop towards each other. And gently draw them apart from your hips, but don't let the ankles roll outwards. So just let the knees drop in and then draw them apart so you feel the outer thighs switch on. So when the knees drop in, you'll notice the kneecaps kind of face towards each other. And as you pull the knees gently apart, Mona Geraldine, kneecaps are facing forwards, and you feel the outer thighs on. So again, one more time, little breath in, and then breathe out and open up the knees. Keeping the knees open so the outer thighs are switched on. Length through the spine and come into your pelvic tilts. So try to be aware you start to come into your pelvic tilts, the knees are starting to drop in towards each other. So feel more grounded around the pelvis. Keep pulling the crown of the head gently up towards the ceiling. As you draw your tailbone down, just creates a little bit more length and stretch. And there's a little click in the lower back. Breathing out as you draw down with the tailbone and a soft breath in as you tilt forwards. So use that out breath through the mouth, keep forcing the air out until you've got a nice strong tuck, and then a slow breath in as you release. And this time, as you come into your tuck, settle midway between those 2 points. The hip bones are forward, still got some length into the lower back, and that little lift of the pelvis with the knees open. And then from there, we're going to come into our shoulder circle. So just aware the ribs don't rise as you lift the shoulder. Trying to keep the arm nice and straight. And I want you to really focus on the shoulder blade. Draw it down as far as you can towards your back pocket. And as your right shoulder's moving, try and keep the left shoulder perfectly still. Breathe in with the lift, and then breathe out, pull down. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Hold the shoulder down. Just gently tip your ear across to your left shoulder. And then back into the centre. Keep pushing the ball down towards the outside of the knee. Chin slightly nodded in so it maintains the length into the neck. And as you feel that you're lifting up your right earlobe towards the ceiling, just creates a little bit more release into the neck. And once more. And then hold it in centre. Up nice and tall. Bring your left hand to your head and roll your left shoulder back. With the in-breath, keeping your arms straight, you're going to roll the ball to the outside of the knee and then breathe out, come back just to centre. Now again, if the hips start to sway a little, it means the outer thighs switch on a little. So still have that sensation, but you're slightly drawing the knees apart just so you feel the hips on and lifting the pelvis. So once you've got all the muscles switched on around the pelvis, you can really focus on the movement and the alignment through the spine. So if the head's starting and the ball's starting to come forward, it means the back's flexing a little. So the top, so it'll roll back into the shoulders. And it still feel that you're drawing your shoulder blades down as you ease over to your right. You can gently reach the left arm up towards the ceiling and then ease back into centre. Use the out breath as you rise, gently pulling your ribs back towards your hips. Very aware of the hips staying centred and still. And once more here. Slow breath and a strong breath. And releasing your left arm. Set the shoulder, bring the ball underneath your left hand, or your left wrist, should I say. Just reopen the knees and come back to your neutral pelvis with a lift here. Shoulders down. Keeping the ribs still and a straight arm. And I want you to feel again that shoulder blade drawing down towards the back pockets. Try and breathe out as you lift and a soft breath in as you lower. Using the out breath as we lift the shoulder is going to help us keep our ribs down. So we're still using the upper abdominals to hold the ribs in place. And then physically feeling that shoulder blade sliding down as far as you can, while still keeping your right shoulder perfectly still. As you roll back and down this time, push the shoulder away from the ear, pull up through the crown of the head and nod the chin in, and then gently tip to the right. Eye gaze comes forward. So your left earlobe, just a gentle lift, And as you're lifting the earlobe, push the ball down gently at the same time. And you'll feel that helps to just create more stretch, more release into the neck and across the top of the shoulder. And we can still really focus on drawing those shoulder blades down. Over to the left this time. So you can keep your hand here or bring your hand to your head, but roll the shoulder back, open the knees, and then breathe in on the way down. Breathe out and get ready to rise. Now with your right arm lifted, just try and make sure the shoulder hasn't shrugged up towards the ear. So you're still drawing your right shoulder blade down to the back of the rib cage as you take. If the weight's shifting from one foot to the other, think about opening the knees a little more, drawing the tailbone down a little stronger, and then if everything's staying nice and still, we can stretch a little further. Little pinch between the shoulder blades. So as you tip to the side, your ears, your shoulders, your hips, your knees, and your ankles all stay perfectly aligned. Little breath in as you reach down, and then a strong out breath as you rise. And once more. That just nicely opens up the side of the body. And then coming back in to the centre. Ball in front of your thighs and open up your collarbones first. You want to feel the shoulder blades drawing down to the back of the rib cage. Floating the arms forward, just level with your breastbone and keeping the shoulders in place. Open the knees, and as you draw your right arm back, lift your right heel. And then place the heel down slowly. Now lifting the left heel as your left shoulder blade squeezes back, and then a soft breath in to the centre. Again, out through the mouth to open, and in through the nose to close. If the knees again, try and pull in with the inner thighs. Try and really be aware of gently drawing the knees apart. So then as you rotate, you can really focus on pushing the knee forward in line with the middle of the foot. Just aware the shoulders don't rise, keep the ball nice and low, and a really smooth transition from one foot to the other. Trying to get rid of your ball then, Alison. Breathe out to open, and a soft breath in. Try not to let the ribs push forward as you rotate, so you keep the shoulders nicely stacked above the hips. And once more here. Breathing out to open, and a soft breath in to release. Bring it down. Take your feet nice and wide. So a nice wide stance and ball on your right thigh and your shoulders set. You can turn your right foot out a little, but don't let your right hip drop back. So you're going to squeeze the right buttock and then elbow at 90 degrees and hip over to the left. Slowly, with a straight arm, roll the ball down the thigh. Just so you feel a stretch on the inside of your right thigh, and then bring the shoulders back above the hips. Again, breathe out, keep the hip gently pushed over to the left, feel the stretch on the inner thigh, and then gently rise. Little squeeze again between the shoulder blades, and your chin still slightly drawn back towards the throat. So there's no change of alignment through the spine. You're trying to push across with the hip, and keep open through your chest and your shoulders. Don't let the hips sway. Try and breathe out as you ease into that stretch. Take a soft breath in and rise. And again, breathing out, relaxing down into that stretch. And then a soft breath in and change sides. So look at the stretch on the inner thighs that will make our squats seem a little bit easier later. And your outer thighs will be able to work harder. Square the hips, so if that left hip sits back, squeeze your left buttock to push it forwards, and then slide it slightly over to the right. Shoulders are back, chest is open and lifted. And as you breathe in, keep your left arm straight, keep the spine long. And then breathe out as you rise. So you're trying not to go as low as you can. You're trying to keep this right hip as high as you can. And the more we push that right hip up, the more stretch we're going to feel in that left inner thigh. Now if you're not quite feeling the stretch, try and take the feet wider. And also try and make sure the left hip's not dropping back. So you're squeezing that left buttock the whole time to keep the hips really square to the front. Breathe out to rise. shoulders open, little squeeze between the shoulder blades. And one more time. Feel the in-breath as you ease down, and use the out-breath to rise. Now I'm going to keep the feet wide, but we're going to turn both toes, or both feet, sorry, we've got 10 toes, slightly out to the diagonal. Ball into your right hip, shoulder sits back. You're going to come to a ball pass over. So a little breath in, passing the ball in front of the head, and as you breathe out, pass it behind your back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. So breathing in, just level with the forehead, and then breathing out, squeezing and opening your chest. You can bring the ball a little higher, as long as you're keeping your spine in neutral. When the ball comes high, there's a tendency to want to flare the ribs. So keeping the upper abdominals on, so the ribs stay down, and try not to move the hips out of the way as you pass the ball behind the back. You want to feel that opening comes across the front of the shoulders, so you get a squeeze into the shoulder blades. You're breathing in as you sit back into your hips, and you're breathing out to rise. So feel the breath in through the nose, and then breathe out through the mouth. Keep using the outer thighs to keep the knees open. So as you sit back into your squat, you can glance at your knees and check they're in line with the middle of the feet. Now try not to lean too far forwards, more sit back into the bottom and then push up tall. Slow breath, easing your breath in. Tailbone slightly tucked, and then ease your breath out to rise. 2 more. In through the nose. Breathe out, push through both heels evenly. And one last time. That just starts to bring a little stretch into our glutes. Come into the centre, bringing your feet underneath your hips. And what I'd like to do from here is bend your knees a little and tip forwards. So you not let the knees go forward, you push the bottom back and take the chest slightly forward. Ball in your right hand and take your left leg back. Try and rest on the tip of the toe, draw the abdominals in, and now from here, just want to open your right arm out to the side. Now when you lift the arm, let it come from your shoulder blade. Let the arm almost feel heavy. Your right knee is open from your hips, that kneecap still forward, and then tap your left foot in lightly, and then tap the left foot back. So we try not to let our body weight move backwards and forwards, and each time we come back into centre, you've got the bend into the knees and the hips don't move. Stay in that position, squeeze your thigh, breathe into the centre, chin is in, breathe out to open, and a breath in to release. 2 more here. So looking at the stability around the right hip. And then we hold. Keep the ball still and extend your leg back. So you're light on the ball of the foot. Bend your front knee and your back knee and sit back into your hips. Then lift the ball just to head level towards the knee and then push it through the front heel. Keeping that tilt forwards. So bend the back knee, sit your bottom back, then lift the arms to the knee and push out that front heel. So notice this knee is not moving backwards and forwards, it's stacked over the heel, and really focus on slowly lowering down with that back knee. Now if that inner thigh bend is trying to stabilise the knee, it's going to pull the knee in. So the more we keep this knee open from the hip, the more we're going to feel our glutes working as we rise. Don't push off the toes, just push off your front heel to rise. Again, breathe in, chest is open. Breathe out, lift. Take a slow breath in. Breathe out, just pushing out that front heel, but not letting the knee move. Once more. Out through the mouth, in through the nose, and out to rise and step in. So let's get the stability on the left and then the strength. So we come back to that slightly bent knee position. Set our shoulders so they're open. Tip forward from the hips so the weight's straight into the bottom and the knees are soft. Your right leg strides back, light on the big toe. And then when you're ready from here, chin is nodded in and you're just opening your left arm out to the side. Try not to change the position of the spine, so we're not rotating to the left. We're keeping the collarbones really open, and each time we lift the arm, squeeze the shoulder blade in. Now when you lower the arm, you can tap your left foot lightly. So the key to stop you moving backwards and forwards is not putting any weight on your right foot. If you put weight on the right foot, your body will move backwards and forwards. Try and keep it as light as you can. Now I want to keep using the extensor muscles through the spine. So open the collarbones, tuck the belly, tuck the bottom, sorry, draw the belly in, nicely nodded in with the chin. So it's keeping that balance and stability of your standing leg. You're not liking that bolt down, it's now you keep throwing it away. And your last one here. Keep the leg at the back. Bring the ball down to the knee. If this knee starts to pull in, pull it back out. Set the shoulders. Bend the back knee. You're on the ball of the foot and you're sitting back into your hips. You're pushing slowly out of your front heel, and this front knee doesn't move. The back knee does the bending. Front knee will naturally bend as you lower into that back knee, and then push out the heel. Now you can breathe in, add a double arm float to shoulder level, or you can come up higher. If you're coming higher, think about the ribs, so we don't want to change the position of the spine as we lift the arms. So look at that tilt forward. The more we can tilt forward and sit back with the bottom, the more you're going to load the bottom, and the harder the glute's going to work to push you forwards. Breathe in, sit back, breathe out to rise. Soft breath in, keep the tilt, push out the front heel. So there's no change of position through the front knee or through your spine. Shoulder blades nicely tucked in towards the rib cage. Your toes are nice and light on that front foot. One more time. And then push out the heel and ease in. And release your legs. Right, we'll lie down for the rest of our block today. So we've got our glutes fired up, are raring to go obviously. So we're going to bring the ball underneath the right foot, left foot, because the left foot's just been working, sorry. Put the ball underneath the left foot so the left foot gets a little rest. So it's underneath the arch of your foot. Right foot is on the ground and it's close to your bottom. We're going to come into a hip bridge. We're going to use the instability of the ball to encourage more stability through the hips. So if you turn your palms up, that's going to help to open across your chest and your shoulders. Now with the chin in, a neutral spine, we start with our tilt first. We tilt the pelvis back and we roll up through the spine. Keep the chin nodded in. Now hold here. Extend your leg, roll the ball forwards, then roll the ball back, and then roll back down through the spine. Now breathe in. Use the out breath as you roll up through the spine. Feel the back of the shoulders press the floor and squeeze the bottom. And then breathe in, extend the leg. Then breathe out, pull the leg back. And a soft breath in as you lower. Now when you extend your left leg, keep the bottom squeezed to keep the hips up, so you're not dropping the hips to the floor. We're trying to push the leg out as far as you can, or keeping the hips high, and then rolling back down through the spine. If you start to get a cramp in your hamstring, bring the right foot closer to the bottom, and then you can more focus on squeezing the bottom to hold the hips in place. Maybe not pushing down to the heel as much. And the more we squeeze the bottom, the less the hamstrings try and take over. 2 more here. Feel the shoulders, press them evenly down to the ground. Pull back with the heel and roll with control. Your last one. Fully extending. And then pulling back with the heel and releasing. Now we're going to go with that same ball roll, but this time what I'd like you to do is straighten up your right leg, place the ball on your shin, and then put the left foot onto the ball. So you're holding the ball here on your shin. We're going to tilt the pelvis back so we're in a soft imprint. You're going to straighten your top leg and lower your bottom leg a little. And then as you come back, you're bending that top knee. We're breathing in to extend. And then breathing out to pull back. In through the nose, keeping your imprint. And then breathing out to reset. Now option to add in a crunch. So you extend the legs, and then as you rise, you can crunch. Breathe in as you extend, and then breathe out to pull back. So you can let the legs lift higher, then bring them lower. Got that the wrong way around. Breathe out with the lift. Taking a breath in, you open. Breathing out on the rise. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 to go here. And your last one. And then rest all the way down. Take your ball off right to the side. Right, let's come back to the hip bridges. So ball underneath the arch of your right foot. Just a little glance at your knees so it's the knees in line with the hip. And your left heel fairly close to the bottom. Turn the palms up to open your chest and shoulders. And engage your shoulders, pressing them down into the floor. When you're ready, take a breath in. Breathe out, roll up through the spine. Squeeze the bottom. As you breathe in, try and extend the leg. Breathe out, pull back. And then roll back down through your hip bridge. Now you might feel the head wants to tilt back a little, so nod the chin in, push up with the hips, keep the hips pushed up, pull the ball right back, and we still want that segmental control through the spine. So as hard as it is with one foot on the ball, we still want to think about tilting the pelvis, peeling each individual vertebrae up, not allowing the ribs to flare here, keeping a strong squeeze in the bottom as you extend the leg, pulling back to centre, and then rolling down through the spine. 4 to go. The out breath helps here. Breathe in, extend, keep squeezing your left buttock, pull the heel back, control the roll back down through the spine. Your last 3. And again, you're starting to cramp a little in your right thigh. Just pull that right heel, or left thigh, sorry, pull the left heel closer back to the bottom. Don't rush that leg extension. Control it all the way down. It's working. One last time. Pull back with the heel and that controlled roll through the spine. Oh, it's getting a cortisol today, is that one? Alright, so you bring up your left leg, ball onto your shin, right foot, arch of the foot on top of the ball, and then from here, as you lower the ball, lower the leg, extend your top leg, and as you bring the legs in, bend your knee. Breath in, pushing the ball forwards, and then breathing out as you pull back. Tilt the pelvis slightly back, and just roll to the point where you feel you can keep your lower back in imprint. You can take the leg lower, bring it higher, add in the crunch. So as you rise, breathe in to extend, breathe out to pull back. If that feels too much, keep the head rested on the floor. Keep squeezing your ribs down towards your hips. There's lots of work in that straight leg, so keep squeezing the thigh. Slow breath in, breathe out, ribs to hips. 2 to go. I know you like a challenge towards the end of the week. And rest. Take the ball, rest the feet down, and let's bring the ball onto the bottom. Let's do a nice one. Let's do some pelvic tilts and some hip sways. So I want to set the ribs down towards the hips and knees in line with your hips. Neutral spine to begin with. And then just want you to tilt your hip bones gently towards the head, keeping the ribs down, point them towards the knees. Now to glance at your knees, check they're directly in line with your hips.
And you want to feel this comes from your lower abdominals. You're pulling your pubic bone towards the belly button, you're drawing the belly button down through towards the spine, and then without the ribs flaring, you're going back to neutral. Out on the tilt, and into release. Now this time coming midway between those 2 points, you're in neutral. Keeping the ribs still and the knees still. Press your right buttock slightly down to the ball, and then your left buttock. So your pelvis now slightly tilts from side to side. But glance at your knees and only move to the point you can without the knees themselves moving. So get deeper muscles. It's a very, very small movement. Almost imagine your pelvis to be like a little hammock, but slowly swinging from one side to the other. Now again, if you're tilting the pelvis, you might feel the knees want to rock and sway. So again, it's not a big movement. It's more about knee stability, rib stability, and then small little muscles in the middle, creating that small controlled movement. One buttock presses down, almost lift the opposite one up. It's like you push one hip bone up to the ceiling and the opposite buttock down to the floor, but you're not letting that come from the knees. So again, if you look at the knees, they stay perfectly still. Once more on each side. Next, we're going to go into circles. So it's just getting all the deep abdominal muscles working. So keeping the knees again still and the ribs in place. Point your hip bones to your head, 12 o'clock. Now roll them around to the right to 3 o'clock, and then to your knees to 12 o'clock, and then to the left at 9 o'clock. Back up to 12 o'clock. Now again, notice your ribs, notice your knees. Try not to let the knees or the ribs move. Might be a small circle. You might struggle to get to one of your clocks, but just encourage it all the way around as much as you can. When you go to 6 o'clock, you're letting your lower back arch a little, but you're not letting your ribs flare. So much harder than it looks. And sometimes it might look like you're barely moving. Again, it's that deep, deep control. Once more around. Go the opposite way around. So go to 9 o'clock first, then to 6, 3, back up to 12. Nod the chin in a little. Use the upper abdominals to draw down the rib cage. Notice the knees aren't rolling outwards. Notice the weight, nice and even in the feet. And this just gets nicely into all those deeper little muscles that create and stabilise spine movements. And once more around. And rest in centre. Palms up. Shoulder sets. Now from here we're going to come to a knee drop. We've got the instability of the ball, so we want to be in a neutral pelvis and our ribs in place. Shoulders set, left leg stays still. Without the ball moving, breathe in, open your right knee. Take a pause. As you breathe out, bring the knee back in line with the hip. Your left knee is going to want to sway. So again, a little glance at that left knee and see how still it stays as you open the right knee. Staying on the same side, breathing out as you close. So we're going to move slowly so you can really be aware of that ball not rocking from side to side. It's all about pelvic stability, connection with the upper abdominals to hold the ribs in place, the out breath as the knee comes back in. The ball moves, your hips have moved, so maybe think about gentle pressing your left buttock slightly down into the ball. That's going to help stabilise your pelvis. And then you should start to feel more work coming into your obliques, into that right hand side. Out breath as you lift the knee. Now it's move the knees slowly, so there's no momentum. 4 more on this side. Slow breath in. Keep the left foot light, but the left knee still. The left buttock you want to press into the ball, and slowly bring that knee back into centre. Let the breath just easing through the nose. Start to ease out through the mouth. Keep breathing out slowly till you get to the top. And your last 2. The ribs might start to flare as the fatigue. Keep using the upper abdominals to keep those ribs drawn down. 1 more time. Again, a soft, slow breath. Left buttock press down. Breathe out, slowly lifting. And holding. Changing sides. So again, you might want to take a little reset. Set the shoulders, set the ribs, up at the chest. Right leg stays still. Ball stays still. And gently press that right buttock slightly down. Just to keep the hips level as you open your left knee. When you open the knee, you kind of roll onto the outer edge of your foot, and then you're breathing out and slowly bringing it back into centre. So follow your breath. Start to breathe in slowly as you lower the knee. Pause. Start to breathe out through the mouth. Keep breathing out till you get to the top, but slow, strong out breath. That's when you get the deeper abdominal muscles, like your natural corset, really tightening up. Stabilise your spine, your ribs and your hips as you move the leg. If the ball moves, don't go as far. I'll gently press your right buttock down into the ball a little more. Feel the in-breath as you're opening. Watch that right knee's not swaying. Take a pause. Without moving the hips or the ball, slowly squeezing back in. Breath in through the nose on the way down. Breathe out with the rise. Keep pressing down with the right hip. Breathe out strong. I've got a little bit more of a wobble on this side. Your last 2 with a minimum of wobble. So no rush, moving really slow, really controlled. So we're making the deep muscles work for longer. So we get endurance with our stability. And your last one. Slow, easy breath in. Take that pause. And then start to breathe out. Don't let that ball move. And hold in centre. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Just giving your back, your hips a little release there. Next we're going to do some knee circles, but we can keep the bottom on the ball just to make it harder, but we've started to really engage and connect into all these muscles around our midsection. So they should be fired up and ready to go. So when you're ready, set the shoulders, bring both knees up to 90. Use the back of the shoulders, draw the abdominals in. Now just your right knee eases forward. Bring it out to the side for a little circle and back to centre. Then your left knee lowers, bring it out to the side and then back into the centre. Breath coming in through the nose, keeping the knee at 90 degrees, and then breathing out through the mouth as you circle your leg around. Now it only needs to be a small circle. As soon as your weight shifts to the side, your whole body's going to want to tip to the side. So engagement through the core, connection to the ribs, breathing in, breathing out, circle around. Now if you want to make it a little harder, you can take the legs up straight, soft knees, same thing, circle the leg down, out to the side and back into centre. Without the ball moving. Things going into a wobble now, I can't stop. Breathe in as the leg comes down. Start to breathe out slowly, slowly moving it back to centre. And again, breath in, knee soft, circling from the hip. And as you move your right leg, just put a little bit more weight down into your left buttock. Try and keep that left buttock gently pressed down as you move your right leg around. Now gently press the right buttock down as your left leg moves. And you've got to do it slowly or everything will just wobble. Opening from the hip. After this, just one more on each side. And we can do it with a bent knee. You can try and challenge those deeper muscles by making the circle a little bit bigger. Out to the centre, out as far as you can to the side. Still pressing that left buttock and your shoulders down. One more. And then bring both knees in. Again, that's so much harder than it looks. Right, so let's come up into a seated position. That little nodding with the chin. You can push your feet forward, find yourself above the ball. Ball in towards your lower back, into your bottom, so it just sits as nicely into a C-shaped position. Don't have the feet too close, let the hips be a little bit more open. Now drawing the ribs down and lengthening the back of the neck so the eye gaze is forward. Nice simple bow and arrow. Now open the collarbones and keep them open as your arm comes forward. So we're not coming back to this rounded position through the shoulders. A little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Now as you draw the arm back, that's known to pull your ribs away from your hips. So pin the ribs in place and then pull the arm back. Pin the ribs, pull the arm. Breathe in. Breathe out, pin the ribs and pull the shoulder blade back. Now keeping the length in the neck, little turn, look around to the side and then to the front. Now be aware of your knees, don't let them move. If your knees move, your hips tend to roll. So the more you're aware that your knees are staying in line with your hips and still, the more we know the pelvis is staying still. You're breathing out to squeeze the elbow by the rib cage. Soft breath in as you come to centre. Holding the ribs down as you pull your elbow back. Keeping the crown head now gently pulled up to the ceiling. So you've got that little bit extra length into the neck. Keep drawing the pubic bone towards the tummy button. And once more on each side. Breathing in to rotate. Breathing out to centre. And again. And then from there, come forwards. Reach towards your feet and gently pull the belly button towards the spine just to release the back. So we're going to go a little deeper into the ball. We're going to bring it roughly just below our shoulder blades. This position here, we're going to then focus on the upper abdominals. So rather than looking up to the ceiling, bring the chin right in and look to the thighs, and then squeeze the ribs towards the hips and extend your arms. Heel slide, focus on the ribs holding. Breathe in, slide your right foot forward without the ribs rising, and then breathe out, drag the foot back in. Left leg, breathe in as you slide the heel forward, and then breathe out to drag the heel back. Again, trying to be aware that you're not letting your ball or your hips rock from side to side, but staying perfectly still. Extra little bit of work into the upper abdominals. As you slide your right foot forward, lift your left arm just to the diagonal, so it's almost parallel to your thigh, and then back into the centre. Left arm, left leg, sorry, right arm, and then breathe out to pull back. Should be no tension in the neck, it should be all held with your upper abdominals. Pubic bone still drawn to the belly button, and try and draw it back to the belly button as you extend the leg. Slide the heel slowly. Breathe out, extend. Take a soft breath in. in through the nose as you extend, sorry. Little pause and the out breath as you pull back. Just one more on each side. So those abdominals have quite a good connection today. Last one, in to open, out to close. Now if it feels okay for you here, you can bring your hands down and allow yourself to roll back over the ball. So it's going to allow you to stretch into the upper back and the rib cage and the upper abdominals. Breathe in, breathe out, relax down with the shoulders. And just allow that ball encourages extension through the spine. Now when you're ready, bring in the chin. You can let your hands come to your thighs and gently pull yourself up. And then come all the way up into seated. And then take a roll over. Cats to cows. Let's get that whole back moving now. So the hands shoulder width, the knees hip distance, long flat back. Tuck the bottom, pull the belly up to the spine, and then lower the bottom and gently encourage your chest forwards. And again, tuck at the bottom. The extension of your spine. And again, breathing out to draw the belly in. Breathe in as you release your spine. And then coming into the centre. So your toes are tucked, push onto the balls of the feet, and then walk your hands back towards your feet when you're ready. So as you walk the hands back, you're bringing your weight into the heels. You're lengthening the back of your neck and tucking in your chin, and then relaxing your shoulders and your spine as much as you can. The hands can walk up the shins, or you can let them just hang when you start to restack your spine. Coming all the way through the upper back, lengthening through the neck, and rolling the shoulders back. Tucking the bottom, breathe in, lift your arms, shake your legs, press your palms and reach up. And then breathe out, pull the arms down. Give the shoulders a nice shrug. Let them drop. And again, a breath in and release. And well done, ladies and gents. Sorry if it wasn't too challenging today. I think I'll just slow things down. I was being very digger.